Love him, hate him, but you just cannot ignore him. That is Raj Thackeray and his political party for you in a nutshell. The Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, which Raj Thackeray heads, is an interesting case study. It has zero electoral presence in Maharashtra at this point. No MPs, no MLAs, nothing, zero. It is reduced to the fringes as far as elections and the electoral landscape in Maharashtra is concerned. Yet, the party always manages to find itself making headlines. It's either protests, violence, hooliganism by MNS workers on the streets of Mumbai, or Raj Thackeray's typical aggressive brand of speeches. In the last few days, Maharashtra is seeing a fierce battle playing out. Marathi language, its pride, versus alleged Hindi imposition. The BJP-led Maharashtra government was forced to withdraw its order, making Hindi the third language from first standard itself. Raj and estranged cousin Uddhav Thackeray were the face of this opposition politically. The two even buried the hatchet, came together, hugged each other, and celebrated the spirit of Marathi amid an electrifying atmosphere in Mumbai a couple of days back. As Raj Thackeray said in his speech, this reunion, the Raj-Uddhav reunion, was something that even late Balasaheb Thackeray couldn't do. But Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis was able to ensure that Raj and Uddhav share stage after 20 long years. We had in fact gotten you a ground report from the NSCI Dome in Worli and why this reunion was significant. But in the run-up to the celebration and the overarching point of learning and not disrespecting Marathi when in Maharashtra, MNS workers also made headlines a few days back for their violence on ground. Today, a protest around that incident escalated with too many things happening within a few hours. Dramatic visuals, sloganeering, arrests, and even Devendra Fadnavis' own minister slamming his own government. In this video, we'll look at this and also the comments of BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, whose controversial remarks have only added fuel to the fire. Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chauhan. Let's get started. So large-scale protests were seen in Mira Road today. Mira Road is part of Thane district and is situated on the outskirts of Mumbai. This protest was organized by the Maharashtra Ekikaran Samiti, and workers of the MNS and Shiv Sena UBT gathered in huge numbers. And you can see those visuals of the screen of these large-scale protests that took place in Mira Road. Slogans were raised in favor of Marathi, calling for the preservation and protection of Marathi language and its identity. This protest march got underway after high drama earlier in the day. Several workers of Raj Thackeray's Maharashtra Navnirman Sena were detained by the police for unlawful assembly. MNS had planned a counter-protest. Today was supposed to be a counter-protest by MNS to the one that some traders in Mira Road had taken out a few days back. And we'll tell you what that was in just a minute. But early morning at around 4 a.m. today, Avinash Jadhav, who is MNS's Thane district president and one of the organizers of this counter-protest, he was detained by the police. Mira Bhayandar Virar Vasai Police Commissioner Madhukar Pandey said that this protest by MNS wasn't given permission and that the cops had told the organizers to modify the route to avoid any law and order situation. Apparently, that wasn't followed by the organizer. By early morning, MNS workers still began gathering on the streets of Mira Road and chaos ensued. The police also had to detain some party workers temporarily. MNS workers and leaders slammed the high-handedness of the police and questioned why the party could not protest while the local traders could. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said that while protesting peaceful protests is a democratic right, one must also follow the designated routes, times and rules for the same.
महाराष्ट्र में किसी भी मोर्चे को इजाजत है, ये लोकतांत्रिक राज्य है, कोई भी मोर्चा निकालना चाहे तो परमिशन लेकर निकाल सकता है, लेकिन जब कोई परमिशन लेता है तो उसका रूट किस प्रकार से होना चाहिए। अगर रूट में कई ट्रैफिक के प्रॉब्लम्स है, अगर रूट में कोई ऐसी जगह है कि जहां पर स्टैम्पिड जैसी अवस्था हो सकती है, कुछ ऐसी चीजें होगी तो पुलिस रूट चेंज करने को कहती है। तो मैंने जब पुलिस कमिश्नर से पूछा तो पुलिस कमिश्नर ने मुझे कहा कि हमने उनको रूट चेंज करने के लिए कहा था, लेकिन वो एडamant थे कि हमको ये रूट लेना है, इसलिए पुलिस ने उसको नकारा है।
Now, regardless, this protest march eventually did take place hours after the statement of the Maharashtra Chief Minister. When it did, it also saw a rather interesting participant. Pratap Sarnaik, Cabinet Minister, part of the Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde, and MLA from Thane's Ovala Majiwada constituency. His constituency also includes parts of Mira Road where this protest was on today. Now, when Sarnaik was asked about it outside the Maharashtra Assembly about the events unfolding in Mira Road, Sarnaik indicted his own government's police. He said he wouldn't tolerate the treatment that the cops are meting out to peaceful demonstrators and the Marathi-speaking people of his constituency. Pratap Sarnaik then said that he himself is going to the protest site in Mira Road and dared the police to arrest him. Amid a swelling crowd, Sarnaik reached the spot within a few hours, only to be heckled away by the Shiv Sena UBT and MNS workers on ground. Now remember, the camaraderie between these two party workers is only growing by the day, especially after the much hyped Raj-Uddhav reunion. So what was this counter-protest by MNS and this entire controversy all about? Now by now you must have seen this video, especially those staying in Mumbai. This video is viral. It was a shopkeeper in Mira Road was assaulted by MNS workers after he allegedly refused to speak in Marathi. This incident took place a few days back. And when this shopkeeper was confronted by angry, aggressive MNS workers, the shopkeeper said he couldn't speak in Marathi. Following this, MNS workers were seen slapping him, even as another man could be heard abusing and warning the shopkeeper that he wouldn't be allowed to run his business. This incident gained a lot of traction. It became a national story, and several political leaders across the country condemned this act of hooliganism and violence by workers of the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. MNS workers involved in this assault were eventually booked by the police and released within hours of being detained by a police force, let me remind you, that is controlled by Chief Minister and Home Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis. On Thursday, hundreds of shopkeepers across Mira Road voluntarily shut their shops from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and marched in protest, in solidarity with the shopkeeper who was at the receiving end of this act of violence by MNS workers. The shopkeepers in Mira Road in their protest tied black armbands and condemned this act of violence by MNS and demanded action against those responsible. Reportedly, around 3,000 to 4,000 traders, including women, had participated in this protest. Now, today's MNS protest was a counter to that, or an answer to that. As far as the MNS is concerned, their stance is clear. Learn Marathi if you are to stay and do business in Maharashtra, or if not, in their language, get assaulted. In fact, this is the line that MNS chief Raj Thackeray himself has reiterated multiple times. At the reunion event with Uddhav on Saturday, Raj Thackeray repeated his statement and even said that his workers should not shoot videos of such incidents and get the matter sorted out amongst themselves. When we posed a question regarding this violence to MNS's Mumbai chief, Sandeep Deshpande, here's what he had to say.
I think many of the national medias, they are trying to project that Manse is enjoying beating people. It's not like that. If you try to insert my mother language in front of me, I'm not going to tolerate. It's a reaction to what you have done. I think people should stop trying to insert Marathi, showing superiority of their language in Maharashtra. If they stop this, definitely we will have to stop.
Now, this plank of defending the Marathi Manus or protecting Marathi by the MNS is not new. In 1966, Shiv Sena, which was founded by Balasaheb Thackeray, this party was founded on the plank of the Marathi Manus, saving the language and fighting for the rights of the Marathi-speaking population in Mumbai was the whole USP of the Shiv Sena. Raj Thackeray, after forming MNS in 2005, carried this point forward. And violence against North Indians in the name of saving Marathi or not speaking Marathi is very much the DNA of the then Shiv Sena and now the MNS. Now, without a doubt, these acts of violence that MNS workers have regularly engaged in are condemnable by all means, without any ifs and buts. At the same time, there's a more nuanced point being made by those who are pushing for saving Marathi, of course, not siding with any political party or supporting violence, but just purely for saving Marathi. You see, every state has its own language and culture, like in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, or any other state for that matter. That culture, identity, and language of the state must be respected is the point being put forth. Yes, Mumbai is a cosmopolitan city. Different people from different walks of life, different parts of the country come here to work and to even stay. But the Marathi-speaking people form the single largest chunk of the city. As per the 2011 census, 42% of India's financial capital speaks Marathi. And that respect is something that those outside of the political sphere are talking about, that Marathi as a language must be respected. Now, notably, there have been instances where the Marathi-speaking population in Mumbai itself has also faced problems. For instance, homes haven't been given to them on rent in some cases, and bizarre rules and restrictions have been imposed. Agreed that one may find it difficult to learn Marathi, but an open defiance of not speaking or learning it at all is not helping the case either. Like this man called Sushil Kedia Kedia challenged Raj Thackeray online, saying he has lived in Mumbai all these years, and given the violent acts of MNS, he said he has made it a resolve to not learn Marathi. Kedia in fact challenged Thackeray in his tweet. Subsequently, MNS workers resorted to the same old tactics of violence. Kedia's office was vandalized in Mumbai by MNS workers, leading to an apology from the man himself. And lastly, let's look at the BJP MP, who many within the BJP say has crossed a line. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey the other day challenged Raj Thackeray to visit Uttar Pradesh, Bihar or Tamil Nadu and try to do his acts of violence there. Patak patak ke marenge, or people of those states will thrash Raj Thackeray black and blue. Those were the words of the MP from Godda in Jharkhand. Dubey said Maharashtra runs on the money generated from states like Bihar, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. He also said that Maharashtra has no industries and does not generate much tax, which is not true, by the way. Maharashtra is the largest contributor to India's GST revenue. In the fiscal year 2024-2025, the state's gross GST revenue was at 1.7 lakh crore, 15.6% more than the previous year. In fact, Maharashtra Chief Minister too condemned Nishikant Dubey's statement and the language that he used, saying it was inappropriate and it was rejecting the contribution of the Marathi people and Maharashtra in India. But in conclusion, let's end with a question. Is Raj Thackeray and the MNS's bid to gain more relevance at someone else's behest? And by someone else, I mean the BJP or Devendra Fadnavis to be specific. In an earlier video, we had told you how Fadnavis would benefit if the Thackeray's came together. That would mean cutting his biggest rival, Eknath Shinde, down to size. Yes, Raj Thackeray's party is going all rogue and sticking to their acts of hooliganism on the streets of Mumbai. But if the Home Minister wants, that is Fadnavis in this case, such elements, such rogue elements, can be put behind bars. The police, which reports to Fadnavis, is only taking a few soft measures against MNS workers, including detention. So is the MNS deliberately being let off, or is it just a failure of the Home Minister to rein in gundas in India's financial capital of Mumbai? That's all we have for this report though. Thanks for watching.